Well, guys, I'm going to keep this video as simple as can be because I think this little drone is going to speak for itself. Now, I don't have my other camera set up because I'm going to be using the VTX to show you guys. So I'll put this forward just a little bit and hopefully give you guys a look at the final design for this little 1S monster. And yes, I got a carbon fiber frame. Shout out to my guy. He's an absolute expert at CNCing these carbon fiber frames. And so when I sent this to him, I said, is this even possible? Like, can you cut something this fine? And it came back just beautifully. What this frame means is that I don't think there's any other TinyWhoop out there that has this rigid of a frame. Like, this thing is incredibly rigid, given the fact that it also is connected to the prop guards. The prop guards are incredibly strong and lightweight, 50 grams total with the battery. And this is a 560 battery, so you should be getting some pretty good flight times. Now, you could use smaller motors. I'm using the RC & Power 1002. Now, these are much bigger, and that's probably where the weight is coming from. But you could use four-bladed props, I think. I've only tried bi-blade, and that was not enough. So now I'm trying tri-blades to see, and basically just put more props on until the motors start getting a little bit warm from flight. So far, they've been bone cold on return, so let's see how much performance we can get out of this. Without further ado, though, let's just go ahead and fly it, because I feel like that's going to be the best way to show you guys what this little guy can do. All right, let's go.
Reflex on motors.
Oh man, it's just so smooth. Like, I have my camera tilted up a little bit, so I'm going kind of fast, but look how smooth this is. There's no wobble. Now, the VTX could be a little bit better. That's just due to the nature of the Happy Model Diamond. Okay, sorry, I had to focus there. But yeah, this thing is just so smooth. Now I'm gonna land it here and just check the motor temps and make sure they're okay. And potentially put on some four-bladed props.
Disarm motors.
Bone cold. Absolutely bone cold. So I think four-bladed props or maybe even five-bladed props are gonna be appropriate for this thing. Okay guys, I ended up running into something on my computer and it like shut down. So luckily I think I could salvage the first part of the video, but if I can't, well, here we go. First off, you have a 560 battery, so the flight times are actually really good, and we will be testing that right now with this battery. Second off, this thing is a tank. It's so strong because it's got a carbon fiber frame. Really lightweight and efficient, kind of using the Mecha Roach's design of mounting the carbon fiber to the prop guards. And these prop guards are printed with Poly Max, so they're really, really strong. And of course, you see the design utilizes the camera frame as a way to also keep this rigid. It's all one piece. So this thing can withstand a lot of crashes and protect that very expensive AIO. Hopefully there'll be something better than the Happy Model Diamond that comes out in the future that I can use for this, but currently it's all we got. I'm not a huge fan of it, but whatever. Next, we're using the RC & Power 1002 2200 kV, and I'm finding that this is coming back with bone cold motors, so maybe I should slap 4-blade or even 5 blades on this. Given the awesome flight times, why not have that extra power and grip and cinematic flight? Now, obviously, this really isn't giving you a video feed that's gonna make anything useful of the cinematic flight, but it's a nice way to practice, and of course, it feels fantastic. Let's jump right into it though, guys, and give you guys a look of how this flies and how this feels, and hopefully this time, I won't crash into my computer and cause it to restart. The downside to not having a case for your computer is it is a little bit exposed. Now we have a timer on. We're gonna try to fly a little bit more tame so that we can get a sense of the flight time.
On motors.
But you see, it's just so smooth. There's no wobbling, no bobbles, just smooth flight. I'm gonna try to be careful. I don't wanna crash. Okay.
Discern.
Hit 5 minutes, just barely. So let's say on hover, you can hit 5 minutes easily. Aggressive flying, probably more like 4 minutes. Here we go. We'll set this to max. Give you the max temperature. And just trying to give you the max temperature. 35 degrees. I mean, that's not much more than ambient temperature. Now, obviously I was a little bit slow. Maybe it took a minute or so to actually get the readout. But these motors, when they get really hot, they don't cool down very quickly. It takes a minute or two to start cooling down because it's all that metal heats up. 35 degrees. These things are bone cold. So that means I need to get some more props for this. All right, we got Eye of the Tiger.
Motors.
Eye of the Tiger, let's go. No more goofing off. Oh. Okay, well, we pulled out. That counts, that counts. This thing's a little beast. It's just, there's so much control, it's actually crazy. I'm blown away by how good this is flying. This is the best freaking 1S I've ever seen before. There's so much control. It maybe doesn't have as much power as the lighter one. Like I've seen Coddy FPV fly these like really lightweight, doing flips and flops and stuff, but I've never seen one with this much absolute control. So stable, and yet it's got the power to pull out of stuff. But look at this. This is how you know a well-tuned drone, because flying low throttle and like low speed usually will introduce little bobbly wobbles into the flight, and you'll know that it's just the quad trying to, like, you know, correct itself. This quad doesn't need to correct itself. It's woke. This is a woke drone. It's woke, guys. This drone speaks for itself. You can get it over on Patreon because I will be making this a Patreon exclusive design, given the fact that my patrons have been so good to me and I want to get back to them and show them that I really care about them and give them something they can brag to their friends about. You go ahead and print this drone and you will be impressing everyone at the next TinyWhoop race. This is Dr. Quaz. Catch you next time.